Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another catalog video. Today I've got this Westinghouse catalog from 2021. I just got this in and I figured, you know what, instead of making a short, I'm just going to film all the fans in the catalog now because I can. So this is the front cover, as you might be able to tell. This is their 75th anniversary. Well, I hope you can. I focused the camera, so you should be able to see that. On the front cover here, it is featuring the new, well, sort of new Joseph fan that came out middle of the year, last year. And I'll go show you the back now as well here. The back, I believe that one's called the Crescent Cove, I think, maybe. I don't know, Westinghouse is a brand I don't usually bother with too much, but because they do have fans, I still do get them in. So I'm gonna quickly take a minute to talk about how Westinghouse does things. So generally around the middle of the year, they'll have a few new product brochures go up on their website. And then around the turn of the new year, they put all those into the full line catalog. So most of the time, there's nothing totally new and unseen in these catalogs, at least in terms of fans. I do try to pay attention to the lighting, but I don't always. So I'm not going to go through all the lighting because I'm not. So getting started here. So I'm trying to hold this open. This is not a stapled book. So starting here, we've got a couple fans here. Those are called the wide span. They look a lot like this one fan I seen in a Northern Tool catalog called or branded Bannon. I'm not too sure if they're made by the same OEM. I don't know if there's any relation. All I know is that they look like each other. Then here we've got a bunch of Jax fans. These are basically the industrials just renamed. So there's ball socket ones with a remote, there's ball socket ones with a 5-speed control, and the one ball socket one with a 4-speed slider apparently, and then there's a J-hook one with 5-speed control. Here we've got the Madeline. That one was introduced middle year last year. Then there's a couple Techno 2s down there at the bottom. Oh god, you guys cannot read this. Give me a minute. Let me go try to focus this camera because I try to make these videos as good as possible, but if you guys do have any further questions, just ask me in the comments. I'd be glad to answer, get you any more information. And if you want to know more about one of these fans, if I personally think they're a decent fan, ask me. I don't just take these catalogs for my collection. I actually do sell quite a few ceiling fans. I've helped tons of people since I was 5, so I like to think I know what I'm doing. Anyways, so up next here, the next set of pages here, there's a few more fans here. This one here is called the Damon. It's sort of like a windmill. I guess that was their response to the Quorum windmill. Not a very good one at that, but it's all right. Got the Willa here, the Cayugas, the Zephyr, and the Chambers. Got the Morris here. I always did like the look of that one ever since they brought it out last year. Got a couple Thurlows. Those look a lot like the Tribeca from Casablanca Hunter or whatever. Got the Cliff here, and then this one's called the Stella Mira. They do have a whole bunch of different Stella Mira light fixtures as well, which are all sort of based off that same design. One of my favorites is on this page. Or on these next 2 pages here, we have got the Evan, the DeSoto, the Bendon LED, and the regular Bendon. We got the Castle LED, the Alloy 2. Here's my favorite. It's the Julian. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got polycarbonate blades. Kind of looks like a wind turbine. We've also got the Graham. We got the Alta Vistas, or Vistas, whatever. And then here we have got some Kelsey fans. Those crystal-y designs, I haven't actually... They're one of the only ones in the U.S. that I've seen by an actual big lighting manufacturer, not some piece of crap you get on Wayfair. I mean, these Westinghouses are just as bad, but it's the only one from a big manufacturer that I work with and know. Here we've got the Xavier 2, the Pierre, a bunch of alloys. Here, these are all the 52-inch alloy LEDs. Got some Comets. You might recognize those because those were some Encon designs. Same with the Vintage, even though it was redesigned last year. And then also you can see down there is the Swirl as well. That's that one right there. They used to have some Swirls at my local Fleet Farm, I remember. Menards did sell Fleet Farm and or no, what? That makes zero sense. No, Menards did sell Westinghouse, but not they didn't have as big of a selection as Fleet Farm did. All right, so here we've got the Fairview, the Vintage 2, the Sumter, the Carolina LED. Got a few Contempra 4s. Then here's a Casanova. That one's been redesigned. It doesn't have the, I guess we'll just call them Panama looking vents. And then here we've got the Contractor's Choice. They did, once again, put out a middle of the year fan brochure, and the Contractor's Choice now comes in black. They used to come in like brass, the two types of brass, and I think a pewter or nickel or something. So seeing a new finish for that fan's kind of interesting. I think that'll get a lot of purchases if it hasn't already. Here, we've got some more fans. We've got the Oscar, the Barnet. Now, I like the Barnet ever since that one came out. I was really in love with it. It reminds me of an antique Westinghouse. Just antique fan in general. That's why I love it so much. Be interested to see how one of those performs. Next up, we've got the Joseph here. That one's pretty cool looking. We've got the Carla, the Solana, the Harmony, the Vector Elite, the Holly. I've never been able to pronounce that right, I don't think. We've got the Elite and the Xavier. I try to pronounce fan names. I just sometimes fail miserably. Shoot, come on. Turn the page. I'm failing miserably here. That is the one thing I do not like about using these archival gloves, is that they make it hard to turn the pages, but ever since I used them, I've noticed a lot less damage on my catalog, so, yeah, that's just how it's going to be. So, next up, we got the Rich Borrow SE now. Oh, God. Somebody put up a video of one of these, or a couple videos that he has, or they have in their collection. And they made it sound like a piece of crap. I always liked the look of those. I thought it was interesting to see that with a bowl. I always thought that it would have been suited better by a schoolhouse or something. Here we've got a couple Arcadias, some smaller alloys. Those are all 42 inches, and they are all LED. Got the Hadleys. The Casanova Supreme. Now, you might notice those look a little bit different. That's because, yes, they were redesigned. They made the motor housing taller, and now it just looks honestly hideous. And why they still make it in brass, I do not know. And then down there at the bottom, there's the Newtown. Yeah, honestly, those new Casanova Supremes, it kind of look like something. They kind of remind me of some RV fans, just even worse. Like, those things look terrible. Here on this page, we have got the Contempra Trios. And then here in the small fan section, we got the Cassidy and the Turbo Swirls. Apparently those aren't the worst fans, which, I mean, sort of surprised me. I do like the look of the Turbo Swirls, though. It's interesting. So these are called the Turbo Swirl, and Monte Carlo had a fan called just the Turbo, which looked a lot like the Turbo Swirl, just not the Turbo Swirl style blades. They're more straight and basic. I don't know if there was a relationship there. I highly doubt it. But I always found that kind of interesting. Dan Newman's got a video of like a 97 Monte Carlo catalog. Check it out if you want to see that, fan. Here we've got some Wangs. I think that's how you pronounce that. We got some Petites once again. Made the motor housing taller, same as the Casanova Supreme. Got the Roundabout, the Quincy's, and then the Origamis down there at the bottom. I always did find the Quincy and the... Or maybe it's not Quincy. Maybe it's Quince or Quince. I've always just called it Quincy. Even though, now that I look at it, I don't know. I actually don't know how that's pronounced. I just call it Quincy. Because I think that's wrong. I think it could be Quince. I really do not know, actually. Now I've started to think about pronunciations. When I've been calling it something for my whole life, I start to wonder, am I calling it the right thing, yes or no? Huh. I'll have to think about that more. Maybe I'll type it into like Google Translate or something later to see how it pronounces it. Anyways, for the final section here of fans, we got indoor, outdoor. We've got the Crescent Cove. I was right with the name on that one. We have the Harrison. Now, this one looks like the Great Falls. I think there might have been a recall with the Great Falls or something, or whatever the heck that one was called. This is just the same thing, it looks like. Got the Brentford, the Oasis, the Outdoor Comets, the Outdoor Holly, whatever. Got the Outdoor Deacon, and then the Outdoor Contempras down there. It's interesting how there's no number after it, even though those are the newest member of the Contempra family. Got a whole bunch of data. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it. But, yeah, those are just specs. It looks as if most of the motors are silicon steel, cold rolled steel. The cold rolled steels, oh really? That's interesting. So some of the Casanovas are cold rolled steel, but the Castle is also cold rolled steel. Was not expecting that. And only one fan so far apparently is a DC motor. I don't know. I haven't even really looked too in depth at these details yet. And I'm just trying to turn the page. These gloves are not helping me. Oh, there's a few more DCs. Surprised by how many are cold rolled steel here. There's this other page here. Most of the time when I think of cold rolled steel, I think of really spinner type fans. You know what I'm talking about, like the what do they call it? The Crusaders or whatever that Westinghouse Encon used to do. Here we've got some specs and some controls. If I turn the page again, I believe we will get some light kits once I can actually get it to turn properly. Oh, come on. Turn. Oh, dang it. There we go. It's quite annoying to try to get to work. Yeah, they've always had a bad light kit selection. This year we have clusters and bowls, or not bowls, but schoolhouses. Got down rods, pull chains here. Well, they used to have a way bigger selection of pull chains. And fun fact, in the 2017 catalog, instead of easily add personality to your fan, they used a certain swear word with double S in it. Yes, they did actually. That was a real typo that's in the catalog. I'll show it to you if I ever do a video of that one. Anyways, here you can see we've got a whole bunch of parts here. I should actually take a look at these because I'm always on the hunt for fan parts. The only thing I trust Westinghouse for is parts, honestly. Let's see. Is there anything else? Well, these are sort of fan rated. Or fan. Well, I'm just saying fan rated because that's what it said somewhere. But yeah, we got fan accessories like boxes and medallions. That sort of stuff. I don't know if there's anything else really fan related. That's the hard thing with them. They've got so many parts. Oh, here we go. This is going to be the last thing I show you. We've just got a few more fan boxes here. That's shallow, the safety pan. Now, is that like an actual box? I guess it is. Jesus, that would freak me out. Or no, it wouldn't freak me out. I would just hate to stuff wires in that. But anyways, yeah, I think that is going to conclude the video here of this Westinghouse lighting catalog here from 2021. Like I said, if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments. I would be glad to answer any questions. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye.